Hey everyone, it's Chief Monishagan here with Friday Briefing. I want to first start off today by just saying that uh, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone, the victims, the first responders, everyone that was involved in yesterday's crash on 35. Uh, I've spoken with Chief Noakes and we've spoken with several of the officers that were involved, and they described it as just a gruesome scene. And nothing that you could ever do prepares you for that, both as a citizen and even as a first responder. Um, so I know that everyone involved is going to need our prayers and our support for months, if not years, to come. Whether it's uh, overcoming a physical injury or the mental and emotional scars that come with being involved in or responding to an incident like this. So I just ask that you join us, you join our community in praying right now and then supporting in the coming weeks, months, and years as they sort through this, and we look for answers, we look for ways to improve, but then we also look to deal with the internal components that aren't as easily seen or understood. So we just love it if you would join us and think of them and remember all of them in your prayers. If you're not aware, we have a full weekend of weather coming, and it looks like it's going to even push into early next week. So here in a minute, I'm going to go over the report that I just received from our emergency management coordinator. I'm going to read it to you word for word so that you have the exact same information that we have. We want you to be equipped. We want you to know what's going on. And we want to ask that you and your family begin to develop a plan, begin to think through some of the things that could come along, and be prepared. Know what you're going to do. Don't wonder. Don't find yourself caught off guard. If you're not able to get out of your home, if there's so much snow that you can't get out, what are you going to do? If your power goes out, what are you going to do? If you need to go somewhere but you can't get your vehicle started or it's snowed in, what's your plan going to be? All of those things right now, while we can still move about and we can still get resources, now's the time to think about all of those things. If you have to work, if you're an essential worker, or you support an essential worker, begin to think about plans to get to and from work. Do you have the vehicles that you need to make it back and forth? Do you need to call a friend? Do you need to stay at work or just stay nearby work? Do you have a change of clothes? Do you have all of that stuff together? It will make enduring this weather event so much easier with a little bit of planning and making sure that you have all the resources that you need. Also, along those same lines, if you're settled, if you have everything that you need and you're just ready to hold up and ride this thing out, a few reminders. Be sure that you bring your pets inside. Many you may or may not know, but for a long time I was a canine handler, and so my heart is for dogs and for animals, and this is way too cold for animals to be outside. Whether you bring them in your house and you just let them run around, or you have a kennel, or you warm up your garage, or however you want to do it, they cannot be outside. This is too cold. So along with making arrangements and kind of having a plan, be sure that you consider your pets as well. For us personally, I have one dog, small dog, that's inside, and then I have two dogs that are outside. So those dogs that are outside have kennels. We've wrapped those kennels in blankets. They've been moved to the garage, and I have a couple of safe heaters that are going to be in the garage, keeping those dogs safe. And we've got make sure they've got plenty of food and water to kind of ride this thing out. So, that's what my family's doing to prepare. We're also prepared to bring them in the house if necessary. But we're keeping the temperature in the garage right now between 50 and 55 degrees, which is just fine for a dog, the bigger dogs anyway. Just make sure that if you've got pets that are a part of your family, that you're taking care of them as well. I wanted to mention we've been pushing this for weeks now, but our annual report is finally complete. It's been published on our website. You can also go to the city's website under minutes and agendas, and you can watch the council meeting from this Tuesday in its entirety to see the actual annual report presentation. In that video, if you were to watch it, you'll hear me speak, but you won't be able to see the presentation that I made. So what we did is we went back and recorded just the presentation and uploaded it to YouTube. So if you want to hear what was said, but also see what was presented, you can do that by watching the YouTube video. And then, like I said, the whole report, all 15 pages, is up on our website. So to get there, you would go to lakeworthtx.org/police. And over on the left-hand side is a tab that says Trust Through Transparency. Click on that tab. About halfway down the page, you'll see a section that says Annual Reports. And you can access the report there. And it's got all the details, all the things that we were able to get accomplished in 2020 and what we believe we need to do moving forward. It's all there. We do that for you so that you can get a glimpse into the inner workings of our department. It's an effort to be transparent and forthcoming and give you the exact same information that we give our elected officials and our city leaders. So it's all out there. You can read it. If you have any questions, I'd love to talk to you about it. So please feel free to reach out to me or any of the members of the command staff. We'd be happy to talk it over with you. Another issue that was brought up to me personally this week was the fact that when the weather was better, folks were outside walking at night in dark clothing, and it was making it hard for them to see, and people were worried that that they may get hit. So I just want to remind you that if you're going to be out, and I don't foresee anybody being out in this weather over the weekend, at least not for a long period of time, but when things start to come back to normal, please be mindful of what you're wearing when you're out and about. A lot of us tend to have darker winter clothes, so darker colored jackets, our windproof pants are a darker color, or maybe it's what you use when you go skiing or something. So, if you got to be outside, just be mindful that of what you're wearing and make sure it's bright and colorful and that, people can see you. The last thing I want to do is go over this weather report with you and make sure that you've got it. So just a few minutes ago, probably 30 minutes or so, the National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning for, I guess it's through Monday night into Tuesday. So they just upgraded that from an advisory to a warning. And that means that there is significant hazardous winter weather coming and that they expect significant impacts for that. So this is what we're looking at moving kind of into the weekend and early next week. So tomorrow night into Sunday, we're looking at freezing drizzle and pockets of heavier freezing rain and sleet by daybreak on Sunday. So that's as we move towards church time on Sunday. We're looking for that freezing rain, and they say that it's going to be cold enough for icing and accumulations of ice on all surfaces. Kind of moving into the afternoon on Sunday. So Sunday afternoon into Monday, widespread impacts increase with near blizzard conditions Sunday night into Monday. Dangerously cold weather and accumulating snowfall potential Sunday night into Tuesday. While snow is expected to end Monday afternoon, temperatures will fall into single digits Monday evening. A warning that they've attached to this briefing is that considerable snowpack is possible on bridges and roads with difficulty clearing them due to the cold. There's going to be an increased power demand due to the extreme cold, and where higher amounts of snow occurs, travel may become impossible and possibly life-threatening for a stranded motorist. So just a couple of notes that I would have on that is first on the power. As you consider your contingency plans, what alternative sources of energy do you have? If your power goes out, can you keep yourself and your household warm? So something to think about there. And then the other note that I would have is large amounts of snow accumulations making certain roadways impassable and life-threatening for a stranded motorist. So when the roads get bad, it's hard for everyone, not just citizens moving from point A to point B, but it also makes it really hard for first responders to get to you should something happen. So you can help yourself and you can help all of us by staying home and not going out anywhere unless you absolutely have to. And then something I would recommend is planning your route. So the way that you would normally go somewhere may not be the best way when the weather's bad. So if you're used to using the clover leaves to get up on to 820, that may not be the best route. Maybe you would need to go Azle Avenue and take a ramp instead of the clover leaf, just to ensure that you can get where you're going to want to go. So, for example, the clover leaf is icy and you can't make it up. Well, if you can't make it up, we can't make it up. So just consider your routes, and certainly if you don't have to be out, please don't be out. Today and early tomorrow would be a great time to stock up on all the things that you may need. Be sure that you only get what you need and that you don't, buy in excess so that other people don't have access to the things that they need. But in general, we want everybody to be stocked up, ready to go, and ready to ride this thing out. So not to be all doom and gloom, but it helps to consider some of these things ahead of time. I think it's going to be just fine, and I want to assure you we have a fleet of all-wheel drive vehicles, and we will get to you if you need us. And I also want to say that if you live alone, if you're caring for family members or people who have fragile health, don't be afraid to call us. That's why we're here. If you have any questions, if you have a need, if you get scared and you just don't know what to do, call us. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Dispatchers, officers, firefighters, we're all here, and we're happy to come help you or talk to you if there's something that you need. We want to put you at ease, and we will find a way to get you and your family taken care of if something comes up. So don't worry, it's going to be fine. Think ahead, plan ahead, and if you get scared or worried, just call us and we'll take care of you. So with that, I hope that you're not going to be out and about this weekend. Certainly, if you do get out, don't drink and drive. We don't need any more of what we've seen earlier this week. Both in terms of, accidents, and then, you couple that with folks making poor decisions and possibly choosing to drink and drive. That would just be a disaster. So please don't do that. So with that, thank you for tuning in and joining us. We're thinking about you. We're here for you this weekend. So take care, try to stay warm, and we'll see you next week.